So when you picture Scotland, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's probably misty highlands, right? Or maybe some ancient castles, the sound of bagpipes, you get the idea. And look, that iconic image is powerful for sure, but it's really just the cover of a much, much deeper story. So let's open it up and really explore what Scotland's all about.
Right? So what is Scotland? I mean, beyond the stereotypes. It's a question that has a way richer and honestly, a more complex answer than you might think. We're talking about a country that has, for centuries, punched way above its weight on the world stage. And to really get it, we have to look past the surface.
And of course, you've got the famous symbols, the vibrant tartan and kilts, the unmistakable sound of the bagpipes, the, let's call it an acquired taste of haggis. Can't forget the mysterious Loch Ness monster, and yeah, believe it or not, the unicorn is its national animal. These are all absolutely part of the fabric of Scotland, but they're just the beginning. We're going to go way beyond them to uncover what really makes this nation tick.
All right, first up, let's start where Scotland's story feels the most real, in its epic, turbulent history. I'm telling you, this is a land where it feels like every single stone has a story to tell, a battle to remember, or a king or queen to mourn.
And these castles, there's so much more than just landmarks. They are literally the stone archives of Scotland's story. You've got Edinburgh Castle, sitting on top of an extinct volcano, the absolute symbol of the nation. Then there's Stirling Castle, which was basically the bloody stage for the Wars of Independence, where legends like Robert the Bruce fought for freedom. And of course, the stunning ruins of Urquhart Castle, which have been watching over Loch Ness and all its secrets for centuries.
And if you think that's old, you haven't seen anything yet. Scotland's history goes back way, way further. Long before the kings and the castles we all know, people were living in these incredibly sophisticated stone villages like Skarbray. I mean, get this. This place is older than Stonehenge. It's older than the pyramids in Egypt. It just grounds Scotland's story in this incredibly ancient past.
But Scotland's story wasn't just carved in stone by people. It was also shaped by these incredible forces of nature. The rugged, wild beauty of Scotland isn't just a pretty backdrop for a movie. It's a character in its own right, something that has shaped the people and their spirit.
Okay, want to talk scale? Let's just look at this number for a second. Ben Nevis stands at 1,345 meters. Now, that's not just Scotland's highest peak, it's the tallest mountain in the entire UK, a colossal guardian watching over the Highlands.
And that sense of scale doesn't stop on the mainland, not even close. Scotland is basically a nation of islands, more than 790 of them, and each group, from the windswept Hebrides to the Orkney and Shetland Islands with their Viking history, has its own totally unique vibe and story.
So with all those islands, it kind of makes sense that Scotland has over 10,000 kilometers of coastline. That is a staggering length, just riddled with these deep sea locks, dramatic cliffs, and beaches so beautiful they could rival the Caribbean. You know, if you don't mind the slightly chilly water. This deep, deep connection to the sea has shaped everything about it.
And of course, you can't talk about Scotland's geography without talking about its famous lochs, or lakes. But here's where people get a little mixed up. While Loch Ness is, without a doubt, the most famous, thanks to its legendary monster, Nessie, it's actually Loch Lomond that's the biggest by surface area. It's a perfect example of how Scotland just effortlessly blends hard geographic fact with captivating myth.
Okay, so we've got the legends, we've got the incredible landscapes, but here's where the story takes a huge plot twist. Because hidden beneath that mythical, rugged exterior is one of the most powerful intellectual engines the world has ever known. This is the story of how a small, northern nation literally helped invent the modern world.
So, back in the 18th century, Scotland had this explosion of pure genius called the Scottish Enlightenment. You had these absolute giants like the philosopher David Hume, the economist Adam Smith, and the engineer James Watt. These guys didn't just have a few bright ideas. They fundamentally rewrote the rulebook for philosophy, economics, and industry for the entire planet.
And that fire, that tradition of world-changing ideas, it didn't stop there. It kicked off a legacy of innovation that completely reshaped our lives. Let's do a quick run-through. First up, Alexander Fleming. His accidental discovery of penicillin, it wasn't just a lab curiosity, it revolutionized medicine and saved, well, probably billions of lives from infections that used to be a death sentence.
Next, the guy who basically invented the way we think about money, Adam Smith. His book, The Wealth of Nations, laid out the ideas of free markets and the division of labor. These concepts became the bedrock of modern capitalism and are still at the center of economic debates today.
And hey, the screen you're probably watching this on right now? Yep, you guessed it, Scottish roots. A guy named John Logie Baird, using this crazy contraption of spinning discs and light, gave the world its first public demonstration of television. He paved the way for a technology that would connect and transform everything.
And to top it all off, let's not forget Alexander Graham Bell, the Edinburgh-born inventor who gave us the telephone. I mean, think about it. From medicine to media, from economics to just calling a friend. It's undeniable. This small nation has had a truly massive impact on the world we live in.
So, after all that, where does that leave Scotland today? Well, it's a nation that's constantly looking back at its incredible history, while at the same time forging a really dynamic future. It's this amazing balancing act between deep-rooted tradition and constant transformation. And you can see this mix perfectly in its modern economy. I mean, the world still loves its Scotch whiskey, right? And people still flock to see the castles. But right alongside those traditional industries, you've got the massive oil and gas sector, a huge financial hub, and now they're becoming pioneers in renewable energy, harnessing the very same wind and waves that have shaped their past.
You see this same split personality in its two biggest cities. On one hand, you have Edinburgh, the absolutely stunning historic capital, all castles, monuments, and world-famous festivals. And then you've got Glasgow, the gritty, industrial heart of the country that has completely reinvented itself into this vibrant powerhouse of music, art, and culture.
And this creative buzz is just everywhere. The Edinburgh Fringe is still the biggest arts festival on the planet. The V&A Museum in Dundee is this incredible beacon of modern design. You have the Kelpies, these breathtaking sculptures honoring the country's industrial heritage. And the North Coast 500 has become one of the world's must-do epic road trips. It's happening now. So when you put all these pieces together, the history, the landscape, the innovation, the art, you start to see this common thread running through it all. It's a spirit that connects the ancient warriors, the Enlightenment thinkers, and the artists and engineers of today. It's a spirit of courage, of incredible creativity, and a fierce, fierce pride.
So yeah, Scotland. It's a land of castles and computer code, of monsters and medicine, of myths and masterminds. It's a country that has time and time again given the world ideas and inventions that have changed all of our lives. So really the only question left is, what on earth will it give the world next?